Promised you guys a report on the 1P-LSD micro pellets that I had, and these ones were 150 micrograms in potency, and when I tried them, I was actually really impressed because these were like the most powerful lysergic compound that I've ever tried. And that goes for any sort of LSD and 1P-LSD, because those are the only two that I've tried. But these 150 microgram micro pellets were like super potent to the extent that it caused like my balance to like go off. Like it didn't feel like 150 micrograms before, because when I ordered 1P-LSD and they were known to be 100 micrograms per tab. When I took two, it was like 200 micrograms, and that wasn't nearly as potent as this. So I think these, like, they feel like they're like 300 micrograms. So I don't know the actual potency, but it's definitely like some of the most strongest thing that I've ever tried. For the actual experience, I couldn't tell any difference between 1P-LSD and actual LSD. Like I've had tabs from my friend who's now in BC of just like straight LSD, and like they were kind of weaker than these pellets. Other than that, like the trip is pretty much the same in terms of its how it comes on and the type of visuals that I get. And with this, like, it actually came on really quickly. Like, I started to feel it, like, probably, like, 15 minutes after. Like, I felt something was different. The fact that it came on so quickly is a testament, I think, to how potent they were. So, I'm really happy that I have this new link for these, and I'm definitely going to get more of it so that I have, like, a big stockpile. I only had 5, so I have 4 now, so I got to get more, obviously. Also, I should mention that at the peak, or near the peak, a little bit after the peak, I smoked DMT, and I don't know the dose because my joule scale is broken at the moment, and I have to order another one. I'll do that soon. I also like weighing out my weed bowls so that I know how much I'm smoking throughout the day, and I can't do that unless I have that joule scale. So anyways, when I smoked the DMT, something happened which kind of made me really happy, and basically, like, the last experience I had, I was upset or worried that the visuals and, like, the aesthetics of it all was going away, or, like, I imagined it all, and that, as I mentioned in the last video, happens all the time when I feel like the magic is somehow going away and it's not, like, aesthetic anymore. And any time I see something that's not, like, the greatest thing I've ever seen, I always get that worry. And this trip completely just smashed that worry away, because like I can't even describe exactly what I saw, but like I saw this really aesthetic, like, warrior type thing, and it was stomped in this weird dimension that was folding, and it was made of all these really intricate patterns and stuff, and I was just like tunneling through these different like, they kind of looked like geometry planes kind of, but they kind of created like this effect where like there's like a dark sort of tunnel, and you're sort of moving through the tunnel, and these planes are sort of going in and out of each other to simulate a type of movement. And I saw like that weird warrior type thing entity like stomp and then kind of like shoot off, and the scene was just really overly aesthetic and like really kind of story-like and fantasy-like, and it was what inspiration is made of, in my opinion. Like that's what I'm specifically looking for when I'm having experiences, is I want to see those kinds of things, because if I can sort of, you know, endure it without being really intimidated by it and scared by it, and I felt kind of fearful of it, but like that fear was overshadowed by my excitement that it was actually aesthetic. And if I could just overcome the fear that I have, like I could really sort of pinpoint what I'm looking at and make a mental screenshot of it. If I could do that, like I could actually get more things out of the experience and bring it back into here. And I feel like that's the main goal. And this is just an update on how my art is going. I started a digital painting portrait study using my Wacom pen and pad, and I think this one actually turned out really well because I was following a time lapse video on YouTube, and I just sort of kind of, stopped it every frame by frame and repeated like the process of what it's doing, and I think it's turning out pretty nicely. This is the first time that I've actually achieved a proper realism type look. It's pretty basic still, obviously, but it's a personal victory for me because this is, I think, the first time that I've actually drawn something that's technically correct.